Welcome to today's episode of Who's Your Daddy? For your fatherly advisors, myself, Firestrider Games, and the one and only Danglergames
What's up?
attempt intellectual conversations about a wide range of interesting and pressing topics while attempting to play through a variety of games together to some degree of skill. We'll see. A heads up though, we are by no means experts in every topic we may be speaking on, but we have been around long enough, I feel like, and experienced enough in life, home lives, professional lives, to hopefully provide some insightful perspectives and wisdom to you, our viewers. So this is technically the first episode. We did one episode where it was kind of like just on the fly, but we're considering this the first Who's Your Daddy
Nice.
podcast. Um,
Welcome.
yeah, welcome to the stream. We're also playing Modern Warfare 2, open beta, the last day of early access. So anyways, today we're kind of just going to introduce ourselves, talk about what this podcast is supposed to be, um, and kind of just like talk about being parents and what we've learned, the trials and tribulations of fatherhood and the lessons we've learned, lessons we can provide to you. We'll see. We might talk about other stuff too in the midst of it, and like scream and grunt and yell at victory, killing people and getting killed.
And hopefully not wake up the family.
Yeah. So anywho, let me just get into the game here.
Man, the kill streaks in this look sick.
Yeah, yeah, they're pretty dope.
I mean, they're actually kind of all the same as the last game. There's a couple extra ones. Stealth bomber.
Well, I wonder if they have everything in there or not.
Right. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, like they'll probably have more content. This is just to get them started.
I'll have to send you another invite because I lost you.
All good. Awesome. Well, welcome, audience. We are very excited to have you. And I'll just reiterate what Mark said. We're not experts. We have opinions, and we're educated to some degree. We went to university. We have jobs in healthcare.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yes. Me and Dangler Games are both registered nurses. We work on pediatrics. We work together, and we're pretty much best buds.
hell yeah, we are.
So we've experienced a lot of things similar in life, and are kind of in similar areas or chapters of our lives as well.
Yep. Yeah.
All right,
Both dads.
start this.
Mark has a older kid. I've got a younger kid. And by that we mean like a year apart.
My name is Mark, by the way. Dangler Games is Dan. It might just be easier to call us Mark and Dan.
Yeah. I I may screw up this streaming thing. I don't have a lot of experience.
Just don't tell anybody your address.
Yeah. Oh, what is it again?
don't actually.
No. I wanted to do what Dory does, and it's like Wallaby Lane or whatever.
Oh,
She like repeats it over and over.
yeah.
Sherman Way. I can't remember.
Yep. Loading. Are you Yeah, you're here.
42 Wallaby Way, Sydney. 42 Wallaby Way, Sydney. Okay, I gotta change my operator. No. Okay, Koenig is right. Why is it that when I go to play? Oh, that's you. Ah, interesting. I'm not
do
showing
have
up
a
in your
mustache.
lobby. Yeah, it looks appropriate. Oh, I'm in the background there. Never mind. You know what? This is
Oh,
very.
interesting. It
This
shows
is
me
very.
primarily?
Yeah.
Maybe because
Yeah,
I'm
it
the
shows
party
you.
leader.
Well, it's probably party leader exactly. Um,
Huh.
this very much reminds me of kind of like the same graphic style as Battlefield 2049, but I feel like this is not going to suck.
Well, I find the graphics are actually quite good in Battlefield 2042. The game is just garbage.
Oh, I said 2049. 2042?
Yeah, I think you got. No, that was 2077. Never mind. I was thinking Cyberpunk. Where's
Yeah.
2049 come from?
I don't know. I thought that's what it was. Battlefield 2042, 2049, 2020.
Part of being a parent is being overtired all the time and mixing
Yeah.
up your words.
Yeah, I have noticed that since never sleeping anymore. Well, no, we sleep, but it's like every morning. It
But
does not matter the day.
it's
It's
never
6
quite the
a.m.
same.
No, because it's 6 a.m. call time every day, and it's not like you get a gradual wake up where you're like, oh, I'm gonna go like make some coffee and chill.
Yeah, you
Um,
wake
it's
up
like
just
you wake up
screaming
and
children.
yeah, exactly, and you're just like, okay, oh my God, the graphics are really good in this.
They are good. Yeah. I always like to start
Holy,
my games by inspecting my weapon by holding left on the D-pad. It's kind of cool.
oh yeah, dude, this looks amazing.
Yeah, we'll play a little bit before we talk about anything.
Yeah. Oh shit. Oh, dead.
Trying a long-range weapon.
Wow, 3D audio's not bad.
Fantastic, isn't it?
Yeah, it's pretty good. Ooh, I feel like I'm gonna get frustrated with how frequently I'm dying before shooting off rounds.
That was my experience. Like the first couple hours I played, just from
Yep.
like not playing Call of Duty in a while.
Yeah, it feels a bit different than the last
It's
game. Just the locomotion's just a little bit different.
it is. It's a little bit more like what's the word?
Weighty.
Purposeful, weighty.
Yeah.
Yeah, slower. Which I actually appreciate because I hate like the twitch reflex
Oh
gaming.
my
It's
God,
not
I'm
my-
going to love the new Warzone. Gonna love it.
Yeah, oh yeah, totally.
Because this is an upgrade. This is really nice.
Yeah.
Hostile UAV in the area.
Oh, I'm
Oh,
fucking
got my
garbage
first
right
kill.
now. Okay, I'm gonna sit up.
Oh shit, somebody got me the flash. Ah, damn. Oh, well, I got a kill. That's good.
We are taking Bravo. The enemy
Okay, Mark, what do you want to talk about? First topic: barbecues, Kamado charcoal grills, dad life.
That is a part of being a dad. Having a good
Dad life
barbecues.
is, well, yes. I think it's not just barbecuing. For me, it's a
Stereotypically.
continuation of a previous career.
Yeah.
For people on the chat, I was a
friendly UAV on station.
prospective chef in a previous life. When I left high school. Actually, you know what's kind of funny? Oh damn!
that? What's
I
that?
just got murdered. On Reddit, I found a nursing thread, where a guy was like talking about how he had cooked. He was like, got his Red Seal, worked in some nice places in Australia, but really wanted to switch out of
We are losing Alpha.
cooking into healthcare,
Yep.
get into nursing because it's a more stable job. And oh damn.
Secure those positions.
But he was like, "Oh, am I too old? Like, I'm like 28 years old. Like, is this too old to get into nursing?" I was like, "Ha!" I was like, "Dude, did the exact same thing." So I gave him all my life experience.
Yeah.
Securing objective
Anyways,
Charlie.
God, you know what? This is not an easy game to be like talking and playing at the same time. It's jeez, I'm getting murders though, man. I got 3 kills.
Nice.
Cold blood
Um,
online.
Yeah.
Objective Alpha secure.
Stream, pardon my inability to talk. I am trying to concentrate because this is so high stress. Oof.
Ooh, what was that? I just like saw a bunch of like.
Flashbang.
It must
or,
be a snapshot grenade.
We are
Yeah, it
taking
was me.
Bravo.
Oh, nice. That's dope.
Oh, darn.
Securing Charlie.
That guy took me
Take
out.
C with me.
The enemy
Okay, yeah, let's go for C.
Alpha.
So yeah, anyways, I cooked. I was gonna become a chef straight out of high school. Did it for a long time, loved it. Really hard to make a career out of it. Too naive to make the right decisions, I guess is the right way to say it. And
Yeah.
so got into healthcare roughly the same time Mark did. We were in a lot of the same
Literally
high
at the same
school-
time.
Yeah, exactly the same time. We did all the same high school equivalency course upgrades to apply for nursing school, and met each other basically in those classes, and then wound up in this program the exact same time.
Yeah, I was a slacker in high school, so I definitely had to
Me
upgrade.
too.
And that's something to remember, like, you know.
Yeah, if you're in high school, do your homework.
Well, not even that, but it's like, you know, if things aren't going well in high school and you don't do well, it's not like that's the
end.
direction for your life from there on forward.
Yeah,
I remember
yeah.
like
It is changeable.
counselors being like, you're gonna go nowhere in life because you're not taking this seriously, you know.
Yep.
But that's bullshit. I mean, you should try because it's gonna slow you down.
I had a counselor tell me that I was not going to do anything with my life, and that was the reason why I kept trying. Like, I'm contemplating a master's program right now, and I continuously think back to that guy and just be like, I would love to just run into him and be like, yeah, critical care, peds nurse,
Right?
and you know, moving into nurse practitioner. That'd be pretty dope to talk to the guy.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're up in Canada here. I don't know. This is a global audience potentially, and our government is really nice, and they pay for your equivalency, like your high school or GED equivalency courses, if you're willing to do them. So there's really no excuse not to apply for university, unless
If you're in
university's
Canada.
stupid. Yeah.
But sometimes,
Can we
like,
take these jets out?
yeah, you just shoot it. Yeah. Sometimes you just kind of have to be ready to move forward in life, you know?
Yeah, it has to be the right time. But the hard part too is that if you don't have like family to fall back on, or like, you know what I mean, for like safe housing, then it's like the right time is like now, because you have to kind of make a safe space for yourself.
Absolutely. And I think
It's
that
really hard to.
that comes into
Oh, sorry.
play when you're talking about like having kids, right? Becoming parents. Oh, ooh, what's that?
Not even that. I think it's like
That's a
if
decoy.
you wanted to advance your life a little bit,
Yeah,
sometimes you can't because you're just living paycheck to paycheck. And
That's
you know,
true.
taking student loans like crazy is maybe not an option. And
absolutely. But there's no rush, you know? Like we
there's no
had
rush,
kids
but definitely you
later
gotta
in
consider.
life.
That's true. Yeah, I think
We're
life's
both in
pretty
our
damn good.
30s, right? It
Yeah.
makes it easier to like provide for your kid or kids when you've kind of like established everything in your own life.
Yeah.
Once you've taken care
And it
of
makes
yourself.
it makes it
like that.
easier to establish everything in your own life when
Yeah.
it takes 5 years to get your wife pregnant.
That's been my experience.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, I just got 2 kills. I feel like I'm friggin'. Oh shit! I just got. This game is awesome. I'm
Yeah, it is.
really
It's
pleased
great.
with this so far. This plays amazingly well.
Yeah.
The detail in the guns is phenomenal. Anyway,
Yeah, it is.
previous career, used to cook, so I bought this new grill, everyone. It's a Kamado grill. It's a giant ceramic egg that's cut into, like, the lid is like a third of it. And then you basically have it on a hinge, so I was trying some ribs tonight. And it pretty good. I'm gonna tell my buddy Bar Strider Games here
So,
about my rib experiment.
yes, sure.
Okay, so took back ribs and I brined them in pickle juice. Got to the tail end of a bottle of pickles. 'Cause I always use this pickle brine for something. So I had these back ribs, and all
Good,
of the back
enjoy
ribs I've
pickles.
cooked. Yeah, right. And like typically, like if you think of it like a rib sandwich, if you had to make it, there's pickles on it. So I was like, well, why don't I just get a bit of that flavor? Ooh, yeah, got that guy. I was like, why don't I put a little bit of pickle flavor into the rib to see how that tastes, right? So I did that. Then I put some Stubbs barbecue spice. Some Stubbs, like, I don't know if it's like pork barbecue or if it's just like the general barbecue spice, but anyways, put some of that on it. And then I got this this grill. So this grill mark, it's like a big egg, and it's oh, I just died. Have the firebox in the bottom. charcoal in, put a little charcoal lighter cube in it, light the charcoal lighter cube, and then there's like these big ceramic plates that you put on top of it. They're like deflectors, and it just prevents like direct radiant heat
Friendly
from like
UAV online.
going directly onto whatever you're cooking to like burn the bottom of it. And then you basically, like, on top of that, you have like a rack that's 2 inches above that. Then you so put like a water pan, right? So like, just like a pan, like a metal pan with water. Holy, this is chaotic. This is so hard to concentrate. It's so fun. I love this. This is really cool. Anyway, so then you have this like pan of water, and typically you want to have like an inch of water because it starts like, holy shit balls. The kill streaks people are calling in are nuts, man. There's like cruise missile strikes and stuff.
Friendly SAE on the way.
This is really good. Anyways, so I was using a bake sheet, so it had to fit. It's like one of those bigger, thicker, kind of commercial style bake sheets. But it only had like a 1/4 inch of water, maybe like an 1/8 of an inch of water in it, because that's kind of all it could hold. And then I was really surprised at how well this barbecue was holding a temperature. I could get it at 225 degrees, which is like perfect temperature for smoking. So I got it at that temperature, and then I was like, sweet, this is good to go. So then I left. I had some appointments that I went and did. Oh, sweet, you can mount against the door opening. Nice.
Enemy is securing Alpha.
Covering your six.
We hold all objectives. Keep them secure. Objective Alpha is
sorry.
compromised. Take it back.
Oh god, oh god, oh god. Ooh-wee. Anyways,
We have the
so I left, but then I guess the thing I didn't really realize about this barbecue is that all the ceramic has to heat up. Oh, we won, sweet. All the
Mission
ceramic,
is complete.
2
all the ceramic
points.
has to heat up.
Yeah.
So it takes a while for the
Yeah,
ceramic
that
to heat
makes-
up, but once it heats up, it gets really hot inside.
Like how long?
Like a good, like 30, 40 minutes.
Holy shit. 30, 40 minutes to heat up?
Yeah, but it's not like
I guess
you
it's
get
not like a
heat.
conventional barbecue.
No, not in the slightest.
Like you wouldn't be like, hey, let's cook some burgers. So you just wait 40 minutes for it to heat up to cook your burgers. Like, so you use an oven barbecue, obviously.
Yeah, so I've got two, right? I've got a really nice, like Weber.
So this is purely
Gas
for
barbecue?
like slow cooking stuff.
Exactly. Yeah, like making pizzas on, or because of the heat that you get on the type of ceramic, it creates infrared heat, right? So it's like, like the back of my house in the summer is stucco, and like in the evening it gets like so hot sometimes that you can't like touch the stucco because it's all direct sunlight at the end of the day. It gets that hot because it just absorbs heat from the sun all day long and then it radiates it off, right? This is the same idea. The ceramic just absorbs the heat energy and it gets trapped inside the ceramic and then it just expels it continuously. So like when you get it up to temperature, you don't have to do much to maintain the temperature. I think I had it running for like 6 or 7 hours and there was still a little bit of ember coals in the bottom of it, but it was holding 300 degrees and it held 300 degrees for like 2 hours after that. So it's like, it's insane.
wild.
It's crazy, man. Like, it's so efficient with heat because once that ceramic gets hot, it just stays hot. It just insulates and it holds that temperature, right?
Yeah.
So the hard part is just getting it to the right temperature. So because I walked away, it got up to like 350 degrees. So it like really baked the ribs. And then the water pan had all the water evaporate out. And so it was just radiating like super hot heat to the bottom of the ribs.
Yeah.
And then so what happened was like the bottom of the ribs got like super crispy and dry, but then the top meat was like super juicy and tender. And surprisingly tender. Like it was really, really good. But typically with ribs, you have to like cook them for 2-3 hours, smoke them, and then you usually have to put them in something to steam to finish. So like wrap them in tin foil, otherwise they dry out. These, I literally only opened the barbecue once just to glaze them with barbecue sauce, and they were like perfectly tender, like juicy and super tender. I was like, holy crap, these are amazing. Like super smoky tasting, and the way the smoke rolled too was just like super nice and like kind of the kind of smoke you want to smoke with is like when the smoke is almost clear and it's just got a very mild like kind of like white look to it, not like thick like like thick smoke, that actually gets gross. So I don't know, it just works really well, like really well. So that little oversight got me really excited just to experiment again.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it turned out really good. So contemplating doing a brisket for Christmas, or even for Thanksgiving.
Reloading.
Big fan of brisket. What is your daughter's? They should have like call signs. What should our daughter's call signs be for the stream?
Mega Maya.
Mega Maya.
Yeah.
And shit, I don't fucking know.
Barmila.
That's just pretty much her name.
I know.
I don't know. What's a name? What's a name? What is Amaya's favorite barbecue food?
Ribs so far. She was like really into them.
Yep.
Baby back ribs, we'll call her.
Ribs. Mila, like, she's always enjoyed ribs. Even like, that was like one of the first things we fed her. That was like her primary protein. Was
Nice.
ribs, like at like 6-7 months. It's a great thing for like teaching them how to like tongue dexterity and like chewing dexterity. Ribs are great. Chewing on the bones, kind of like navigating it in like their mouth. Is yeah, and they get a lot of nutrients just from chewing on the bone.
Yeah. If anybody wants a little science drop, meat protein is the most nutritive dense food you can eat, especially like red meat, because animals, being herbivores that we farm and eat, they concentrate all of the vitamins and minerals that they eat, and it goes into the muscle protein, and then it's super dense protein that's full of minerals and vitamins, and our bodies are adapted to breaking down animal protein because that's just how we've survived for thousands and thousands of years. So it's very nutritious, very nutritious. So don't be scared to feed your children meat. It's good
Scared to feed your children. Period.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Otherwise they're gonna wind up on peds.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, sorry, buddy.
So yeah, that's a great one. And honestly, like if we're talking about feeding babies, it's way more beneficial for your children when they're learning how to eat or starting to eat outside of like formula or breastfeeding to fuck, I just got blown up by a grenade.
I know, this is hard.
Oh, but
Go
I
for
killed
it,
two
go
people
for
with
it.
another grenade.
Oh shit.
To feed actual food and not like
Baby food.
Like Gerber puree food.
Yeah, that stuff is garbage. Don't feed that shit.
It doesn't have the nutrients, and it doesn't really teach them how to probably eat solid food. So you want to introduce a variety of types of foods and textures, and there's like ways you're supposed to prepare it as they age. And, and it's best to introduce common allergens too, slowly, small amounts, to kind of like build up a tolerance and decrease sensitivity to allergens.
Yep. Solid starts. That's the way to do it.
Exactly. SolidStarts.com is a great resource for that. Any aspiring parents out there, that's your tip.
Yeah, use Solid Starts.
Use Solid Starts.
It's an app. It's a website. It's everything you need, all wrapped up into one.
Yeah. They have great meal plans to introduce all the allergens, and it's you can type in like different types of food. There's like a search engine to tell you like what the nutritional value,
and even how to prepare it depending on the age group.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
so
the cool
like,
part.
My kid's 14 months old. I want to feed so and so like a avocado or something. How do I prepare this so that they don't choke?
Yeah, exactly.
This gun is good, but man, the M4 is just so classic. I think I'm gonna have to switch.
This game is chaos, and I love it.
Yeah.
It's really fun to play. Apparently you can dive through windows, eh?
Yeah, so if you, while you're sprinting, if you press circle, you do a slide.
Yep.
If you hold circle, you do a swan dive.
Oh yeah, sweet. I see that. Oh god, I love this game. I love this game.
Oh, also,
so much.
Come check this out. Come here, where are you?
Yeah.
If you
Right
jump
here,
up onto a wall like this.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
Pretty dope. Oh god.
Oh damn!
Both.
We just got murdered. That's awesome. It's so fun. Mark, this is not a great game to stream to because it's so hard to concentrate.
That's fine.
I love it.
The enemy took Alpha. Securing objective Charlie.
Yeah, I gotta
It's
figure
a
out
new
what my
game for you
next
too.
attempt.
That's the thing. I've got used to
Well,
it, so I can talk while I
Yeah,
play.
yeah, yeah. I mean, it is very reminiscent of the last Modern Warfare, so but it's just definitely like you can tell they kind of rebuilt it.
Enemy securing
Yeah.
Bravo.
What do you
We're gonna
think about
go
the
for B?
adaptive triggers?
Um, I like them.
That's what
Haven't
or not.
I haven't noticed. Yeah, they're good. They're good. You know what? I actually didn't really notice them right away. They're kind of
Well, you
subtle.
probably got used to them, to be honest. Well,
Yeah.
that's kind of good. They shouldn't be so much that they're distracting,
Yep.
but enough that they like have an effect.
Yep.
Like you want them to immerse you a little bit more.
Go for B.
I'm about to defend C here for a sec. I'm gonna clear it. I'll make my way to B though.
Cruise missile. We hold
Got
all
B.
objectives. Keep
Okay,
pushing
head back to
enemies
C. It's getting taken.
We're losing Alpha.
Okay, let's go.
Prep a grenade.
Going around the back way here.
Switching Alpha.
Okay.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. What does this actually come out? Like, when does the campaign come out?
The main game I believe comes out October 27th.
Oh, that's so
But if you
far. Do you know when
pre-ordered it-
Warzone 2 comes out?
I think it's
Oh, yeah,
like
go
a
ahead.
month after that or something. It's a week early if you pre-ordered, so it'll be October 20th.
That's
or something along those lines. Oh my god!
Ooh, wow. Got me with a flashbang. Dude, how to change your loadout?
I do.
We're taking Bravo.
Or your class, I guess?
Oh, for fuck's sakes, there's so many goddamn flashes!
We have to turn it around now.
Oh, so I have chickens marinated. Shalann's not super stoked because she doesn't like this flavor too much, but I think it's the best. It's like a sweet teriyaki
We're getting hit.
miso glaze. Oh, it's so good. So basically I make caramel in a pan. So just burnt sugar, right? So it's like just amber colored. And then I add mirin wine, which is like a sweetened rice vinegar and rice wine.
Return to base.
And then soy sauce. And then when it's all kind of evaporated and mixed, I take it off the heat, and then I grate in ginger and garlic. And the reason why you do that instead of like cooking the ginger and garlic is because if you cook it at all, it gets bitter. So you actually want to put it in raw and just let it warm up in the sauce. And then it keeps its nice fresh flavor. It's so
What makes
good,
it
man.
bitter, the ginger or the garlic?
No, cooking it. Cooking ginger and garlic makes it bitter. So heating it up.
Oh, is it the combination of both?
No. It's getting them hot. Like if you cook them in a pan, they start to get bitter if you get them to a certain temperature. So if you ever want like ginger and garlic in a sauce, don't cook the ginger and garlic. Grate it in when the sauce is done,
That's
and
making
just
me hungry.
and just heat it. You know what I mean? Like so you can have it.
What
kinda
about for
simmer.
like a soup?
Well, you
Same
want
thing?
to brew it. Yeah, you could do it with a soup. I mean, there's a lot of times, like in my previous life of cooking, where we would have like different dishes. Like we had like a Thai stir fry dish where you'd take ginger and garlic puree, and you'd saute that in a little bit of oil first. Then you'd add your different ingredients, and you can get good flavor base that way. But in a sauce where you want very distinct flavors, it's always like if you're gonna like for example, if you're gonna make homemade honey garlic sauce. You're gonna have a little bit of soy sauce. You're gonna have a bunch of honey, and you're gonna take like a microplane and grate in the ginger. You don't, the garlic. You don't actually cook it first, because if you cook it and it starts to brown at all and you caramelize any of the sugars, it becomes really bitter. You don't want that in that sauce. So that's basically what I did. Is I made a teriyaki sauce, but I made it. It's called a gastrique, and it's where you take caramel, and then custom loadout.
Your brain just like stop.
It's froze. Yeah. It's like, pay attention to the game.
No kidding, eh?
Yeah,
No,
and
it's
then
like telling your opposite hemispheres of your brain to do two different things.
totally. I'm not
Anyways,
very good at
gastrique,
it.
let's
Maybe
talk
maybe
gastrique.
maybe I'll get Yeah, so I kind of made a guest streak, and guest streaks are typically, it's a French thing,
Yeah, that makes sense.
and you typically make caramel and then put a vinegar in, and then that becomes the base of like a sauce where you can add like demi-glace, like a reduced like veal stock or something like that to it, and it just like makes really cool kind of sweet sour flavors and stuff.
Yeah.
So anyways, I did that, but instead of adding a vinegar, I used mirin, which is like a wine, but it's like a sweet rice wine.
I'm
And
getting fucking hungry.
oh, just wait, it gets better. And then
Okay.
so anyways, it's like a very and then yeah, grated ginger and garlic, and then it's like a very rich, delicious teriyaki sauce. And then what I did to that is I added white bean miso,
Yep.
and then like mix that all around. And then I took a whole chicken. Oh, I'm shooting you. I took a whole
Me?
chicken, and then I just rubbed this like paste all over the chicken. And I did it 2 chickens, and then my game plan.
Oh! Sorry.
Low.
Sorry.
That's
Hold
okay.
on. That
I'm
was
gonna
so
low.
sick. That was a great bounce on that grenade. I'm just gonna do.
I'm gonna
quick.
low and slow cook these
Download.
chickens, but I might stuff them with sushi rice.
Yep. That sounds.
But yeah, I'm gonna cook them on
delicious, man.
the kettle. This level's great,
the
hey?
kettle.
Like multiple levels.
Yes. Honestly, all the maps in the beta so far I've enjoyed.
Sorry, not cooking them on a kettle. I keep the Weber charcoal grill I had is called a kettle. I forgot that I bought a Kamado. I get the names mixed up, especially when I'm like trying to survive onslaught of
Bullets.
soldiers. Yeah.
Bullet hell.
Oh, okay, I'm right behind you.
We're gonna get flanked here in a sec.
Objective Alpha secure.
Switching mag.
Just defend between A and B. Oh fuck. No, or this is B.
Going for Alpha? Or where are you? Yeah, you're going for Alpha. Here you are. Shit, getting shot at.
Enemy is securing Bravo.
Dude, this is such a good game. I'm so happy with it so far.
Yeah, totally worth the
I'm
pre-order.
kind of stoked to try.
Son of a bitch.
Yeah, like if you just compare this to like the last engine that all these games were built on, this is so much better.
For sure.
Cold-blooded action.
Well, you make a great meat shield, let me tell you. He just
Oh, man.
absorbed all those bullets for me.
Yeah. Do you know what this inhaler is? Like what it does for you? Does it just give you
Oh,
like a...
yeah, the battle rage. It gives you health regeneration, recharges your tactical sprint, and does a couple of buffs. I use it as like a
Nice.
stim shot, so if I'm pretty
I
damaged,
just got a
I'll
double
just
kill
do
with a
quick
grenade.
one. Oh, nice. Very good, very good.
I got an LMG. Oh fuck.
So your kid is sick right now.
Yeah, it sucks.
Which is always, doesn't matter what your background is, whether you're just like a regular parent or a parent that has medical knowledge, especially with children, doesn't really make
Yep.
a difference. Like
Well,
it's hard. Well,
yes, it makes it hard, but at the same time, you can go into nurse mode, and so I'm like
Yes.
counting respirations, checking to see if she's in any
True.
respiratory distress, right? Like I can hear that she is congested, and that she's got a narrowing
Yes.
airway because of the way she's breathing.
but it's
but
never the
her-
same.
Her metabolic demands haven't increased to the point
Yes.
where like she's having a hard time blowing off CO2. Like these are the differences. These are the good things, right?
Oh,
'Cause
for sure.
We,
Yeah.
we know when to bring our kid to the hospital.
That's very
A
true.
lot of parents have no idea.
Yeah, but like if you're taking care of a kid at work, or you're taking care of your own child, if it's a regular cold, it's not the same. Like we can keep our cool when we've got very sick children at work, but it's harder to keep your cool with your kid when they're not feeling
Yeah.
well and they're just at home. So it kind of makes it hard to like think and make clear decisions.
Unless you worked in
But-
the ICU for 8 years, then you don't have a soul.
Well, I guess that's true. If you were to advise yourself, an aspiring parent, before you went into nursing, what would be like your biggest advice of like, what should you look for if your kid's sick? Like, when should you seek help?
when your kid is exhausted and they're breathing heavy,
Yeah.
if it's upper respiratory tract infection, um, that's the main thing. So I kind of broke this down to actually the massage therapist I saw today. And yes, I go to a massage therapist stream. I live a posh baller lifestyle.
We all have
Um,
broken backs from nursing.
Yeah, I have permanent back injury from an injury I sustained from a patient when I was working in the ICU. I worked in the ICU for 8 years before going over to peds, and it was 8 years too long. ICU is interesting, a lot of critical decision making. You're basically an anesthetist in a nursing home, and well, maybe not that high of responsibility, but it's very similar.
Probably pretty close.
But I was talking to my massage therapist today about it, and I said there's basically like 3 things that you're looking for with a sick kid. Is the respiratory system. So you're looking, yeah, it just killed the guy. You're looking to see if their respiratory rate is getting above what it should be. So you kind of need to know, what's normal. And
or if they just look
if
like
it's obvious that they look
having
like they're
labor
really working
breathing,
to breathe.
exactly.
Yeah, if it's that's a big part of it. So labored breathing and a lack of energy, that's a big deal. Dehydration because of like vomiting or diarrhea. And in any of these scenarios, once your kid starts losing interest or is not willing to take in liquids, that's when you can, when that starts, that's when you're starting to get into trouble.
Yes.
And then just like a change in level of consciousness, like how alert are they? Are they just constantly sleeping to the point where you can't wake them up to do anything? Like that's another thing that you have to kind of get concerned about. All of those are the byproduct of large metabolic changes and things that sometimes can't easily be corrected. The good thing though is that children are very resilient. So they usually come out of these things quite quickly when interventions are met. But the problem is that they hold on for a long time and then they just crash. So if they get really sick, they can't compensate for a super long time. And if you want the scientific explanation, the reason why is because they cannot double their stroke volume, which means they don't have elasticity of their heart to increase the volume of blood they're pumping with each pump. So they just increase their rate, and then when it gets to be too much, they crash. Adults can actually double the amount of blood that they're pumping through their circulatory system, double the amount of blood each heartbeat pumps, and that's because they increase the elasticity of their heart, but a juvenile heart can't do that. So kids get into trouble much quicker than adults do when they are at their end. So being able to recognize the fact that something isn't normal, but it's almost intuitive. Like you can just tell. If you watch your kid and you pay attention to your kid and you're watching them, you can just tell when they're sick. I mean, you can tell in a friend, you can tell in your spouse, you can tell in anybody when they're sick. You just look at them and they're like, wow, you look like shit. Same thing with your kid. Big thing is, are they drinking fluids? Are they able, like, can you wake them up? And are they, dehydrated? Are they like getting rid of fluids really fast? So like barfing and shitting their brains out. There may be some language in this podcast. We are nurses, so we talk about poop a lot.
We do.
But yeah, that's the big thing. If I were to tell like from a non-medical perspective, like a parent who is like, how do I tell if my kid's super sick? That's basically it. Like with your baby, do you pop
breathing,
a diaper on
intake,
and then it's
and
dry?
output.
But yeah, exactly. Breathing, intake,
And I would
output.
also say very high fevers. So
Yeah, super high fevers.
up into like the 41 range for Celsius or like 103, 104 for Fahrenheit. I think that's
Yeah, I think that's pretty close.
That's going into like seizures from fevers or a febrile seizure territory.
Yep.
In which case you give Tylenol and Advil, that'll bring it down. If it doesn't, you got to get them seen for sure. But as far as like intake goes, if they're not taking food, it's not really a big deal. The biggest thing is hydration.
It's the liquid.
Yeah, it's okay if they lose a little bit of weight from not eating, but you got to make sure they stay hydrated.
Yeah, they don't have a lot of fluid in them to begin with because they're so little. So if they get like really bad diarrhea and throw up at the same time, it leaves their body so fast, and then they're in trouble. I've like Mark can attest to this, but we've had babies brought into peds before that like when they're getting shipped from other hospitals to come to our unit, they basically were like on the door of death. Like their labs all look horrible. They're presenting like gray, near dead babies. And then you give them a little bit of IV fluids, and they basically just go back to normal. It's like, it's like a dehydrated sea star. You just think it's dead on the beach, but once it hits the ocean again, it comes back to life. It's like babies are like that.
Oh no, my kill! No, he's still alive. Let me kill him. There we go. Fuck. I downed.
Yeah.
So if you don't do like a lethal kill in this game, you can actually like you drop down like on your like ass, I guess. Like you're in a down state from like another game, and you can actually revive your teammates
Oh,
like
oh,
that.
right. I heard
So
about
I
that.
just
Yeah,
took a guy down, and then the game ended, and I was reloading. I was like, no, he's right there. I
yeah.
gotta kill him.
I could see Warzone being really like benefiting from that because it's going to extend the Warzone sessions.
Did you watch that Call of Duty? Yeah, you did. The Call of
Third
Duty
person.
Next stream where they showed the Warzone.
Yeah, I think so.
What did you think about the map?
Wait, yeah, the map looks cool.
It's like
It looks
kind of like
like
Middle Eastern.
it's all Middle East, but it kind of reminds me of like what the more frequent maps in Warzone have been doing, where they're like they have more interesting building layouts and like you know what I mean? Like it's like dense little cities, and then um, like the Resurgence or Rebirth Resurgence map. It's almost like it takes like some cues from that, but it has like a lot of water features. Like it just looks really interesting. I think it's gonna be
Yeah,
awesome.
I'm stoked. I kind of hope they have like a beta of Warzone in the second part of the beta. So like after
Yeah.
today, or 12 hours from now, this beta ends. There's a break for 2 days, and then they start the second phase of the beta. And I'm
Right.
hoping we see more stuff.
Yeah. Me too.
Yeah.
Capture and secure the objective.
So yeah,
Yeah.
having your kids sick is never easy,
Sucks.
but those are a couple of good pointers
Yeah.
to look
One
out
thing
for.
One thing I would also recommend to like young soon-to-be parents, um, this is the hard part, is it is so much easier when you have help. Like it's
Oh, God,
amazing
yeah.
how many people I have met or people that I know of who are like pregnant, about to make a family, who break up with their partner, and it's
Yeah.
like,
Well, that's part of the
man,
thing I'm saying is like you got to be ready. Take your time. There's no rush. You
yeah,
can be in your mid 30s and you can have a kid. You know.
yeah,
Anyway,
yeah,
sorry.
like
Continue.
get a job, have a committed partner, commit to them, right? Like don't sit. You gotta like both be
Yeah.
like
Figure your shit
wanting
out.
it. Yeah, and
Before
it's not like you just one day make the decision, oh, this is the person I'm gonna commit to, and then it's all rainbows. Like you have to recommit all the time, and you have to like, you know, go through some fights and like prove to each other that you have each other's backs for it to become more stable. The thing is the more stability you create, the more you keep investing into your partner, and the more you keep investing into creating your family, the harder it is to break it apart. And if both parties are committed that way, you create a lot of security, and security lets you sleep at night. And that's the thing I think a lot of our generation has anxiety issues about, is there's
Yeah, man.
a lot, like a huge lack of stability in society these days.
That's
Like
why we're
nobody really
doing this
like
stream.
totally.
We're
It is
trying
exactly
to
why we're
give
doing
you
this stream.
our life lessons.
Yeah,
What
yeah,
we've learned over time, right?
yeah. Because Mark and I both like, um,
We want
we
the younger generation to thrive.
totally. We feel like we're very successful people, but it's not because we're like wealthy or anything. Like we're pretty like average, but
Middle class, yeah.
yeah, but like we feel like we've kind of like through a series of fortunate events being able to find ourselves in very stable circumstances, and I think it is basically because Mark comes from like a very, very like family valued centric family, like big family that's all very like family values, and then I come from a family that it was kind of more like religious background, kind of like led to um, a lot of those values being in place. Not that I'm like a very religious person,
No,
um,
yeah.
but like you know, like it was always ingrained in me that there's like some sanctity to marriage. That there's a reason why it's important, and I think I'm really realizing it now that I have a kid, and that you know I have a house. Like my partner matters because my security comes from myself and them, right? Like,
Oh, I've been
and
snapshotted. Yeah, sorry,
and
continue.
I could see having a kid being an absolute nightmare if you're trying to do it on your own or shared, you know?
I can't even imagine.
Like you just get so jaded. But
It'd be
I
hard.
mean, there's people who do it. There's people who do it, and I guarantee you they probably can find the um, brighter side of life in it. But it's just a really nice thing when you have somebody that you're with, and despite your challenges and differences and stuff, you get along and you make it work and you have love, and it's like it's a beautiful thing.
Mhm.
and you just rely on each other, and you get the job done, and you make something amazing.
Yeah. And it's important to remember that, like, you're never impervious to becoming jaded or to becoming burnt out.
Yeah, yeah, you got to
And
keep yourself in check.
you still gotta keep yourself in check. You still gotta focus on yourself. You still gotta keep
Yep,
yourself happy, because you
yep,
can't pour from an empty cup.
that's
So
true.
like, and that's
But
the
isn't it?
reason why it's like it's. I don't envy parents that are single parents, because like
Yeah,
it makes it that much harder to try and have that luxury. Like we have that luxury. Like we get enough time to ourselves that we can take care of ourselves. You know.
yeah, you kind of have to
Sometimes you feel
engineer
like
it
you
that
want
way.
more.
Yeah, true, true, true. And I think one thing to keep in mind too is that when you combine lives with somebody, it's easy to want to just manifest all your own interests and hobbies and stuff. But you have to realize that you got another person there who also has their own interests and hobbies. So you have
Yeah.
to like make compromises
Compromise,
because
yeah.
there's not enough time in the day to be able to like
C
fully
word.
pursue everybody's goals. Yeah,
Yeah.
you kind of have to give up a lot because like the thing too is like investing in your child means like not investing in yourself, right? It means like giving some of the time you would put into your own life into your child's life.
Yeah.
And your partner too, right? So you have to like really split yourself into thirds. And it is important though that you keep like your most important things in your life like functioning in your life, like the most important aspects of yourself. You got to keep them alive. You know, if it's some interest or something, like as long as it works for the relationship. Because this is the thing, like you make the commitment, you have a wedding, right? Start a family. Like how stupid of a person do you have to be to then be like, you know, it's always been my dream to like, um,
Become a
to
professional streamer full time and quit my job.
didn't
Something
no
like that.
no, but like something where you
Neither
run
of
the
us are
risk of
doing
creating a
that,
lot of
and
yeah. This is a hobby. This is just
yeah.
a side hustle. If it turns into anything, like that's the thing is, you want to make sure that you have security for both you and your partner's sanity, because the world's scary, and you need to make sure that you can pay the bills, you can put food on the table, you know, you can be
Yeah.
off work for a while, and you know that things are gonna be okay. You have to do that. That's like you got to do that. You can't just live off like the seat of your pants, because it gets hairy. But you have to make room for yourself to have some fun and explore some new things. And it's not easy. It's a struggle. There's a lot of times where both of us are like constantly
Oh,
questioning
look
our
at that! Look at that!
jobs. Ooh, I missed it.
Look at the kill count. Oh, it's gone now. Sorry. Continue.
Oh, did you get a big kill streak?
Yeah, that triple kill.
Nice,
That
nice,
precision
nice, nice,
airstrike.
nice, nice.
Anyways,
I'm going handgun.
you're on some. I killed your train of thought. I
No, it's okay, it's
apologize.
okay. Dude, I just got 2 fucking kills with handgun.
Nice. Check out this handgun. Look at this handgun. Where are you? Oh, you're over there. Look at this thing. You'll get this from the beta, from playing the beta.
Oh, sick.
But
I
look
like
at this.
it.
Watch this. Watch. It's an automatic handgun,
I like it.
so that's pretty dope.
I've got your back.
Throwing a flash.
Throwing flash grenade.
Yeah, you gotta keep your priorities straight. And I think in marriage and with a child, your priorities have to be not you. It has to be your wife and child first, and then you after. Which is why Mark and I game after everybody goes to bed, because you gotta make sure the family's good first. And I think it's like any other kind of like habit that you establish for yourself. You just have to come to grips with the fact that that's the way it has to be, and then you do it and you normalize it, and then it doesn't become strenuous. It just becomes what's normal. And I think that's why also like with divorce, some people get so effing jaded because they actually like really put in the work, and then over
And
down
over
the
time,
road they're
just didn't
yeah. So
work
that's
out.
the hard part about relationships is you have to make yourself vulnerable, because you have to can't guarantee the other person's gonna have your back, but you have to just live like they will. And I think when you live like they will, you really create the room for them to live up to that expectation.
Yeah.
But you also have to know the person you're gonna marry, know where they come from, know what their values are.
Yeah.
It's really important.
Yeah. So don't forget about yourself. And my biggest thing that I tell new families, with like new babies, is you can't forget about yourself, because if you do and you get jaded like that, out of frustration in a moment's notice, in a blink of an eye, you could do something you regret.
100%.
Which is when we see like shaken baby syndrome and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just gotta focus on yourself. You gotta leave your kid
Or going
in
out
the
on a
crib.
big drug-fueled bender
Yeah.
and then
Yeah, or you have to leave your
realizing
partner
that
to pick up the pace a little bit for you, but you also have to do the same for them at points because they're not impervious to it either.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, it's better to just leave them crying, leave them upset if you have to. If you got to take care of yourself, sometimes it's just like sometimes you just reach the limit.
yeah,
And it's better to do that than to do something you'll regret.
yeah. Yeah, shaken baby syndrome is a real thing. My wife actually is a child protection social worker, and there's been quite a few cases of shaken babies that have like permanent brain damage or
Yeah, it
like
doesn't take much.
parents who were like they let themselves burn out and they didn't, you know what I mean? Like they didn't like cover each other's backs enough, and they got intoxicated and fell asleep with the baby in the bed, and then the baby got smothered and died. And, like,
Yeah.
there's some shitty things that happen. So you really have to know that when you're getting into this, that you're like able to prioritize this. That you know, like we've been talking about, create the security for yourself and your family, so that you don't, and the maturity in yourself to be able to do it, right? Like you don't want to be like actively still partying all the time when you're like have a fresh baby in the house. I mean, there's nothing wrong with like letting loose with your friends and stuff, but
Oh yeah.
you know, you don't want to be living the lifestyle where you're just getting smashed all the time. Like that's pretty not helpful.
Yeah. What would you say to parents that maybe didn't plan to have kids? They weren't ready. That's an interesting one.
That is an interesting one. I think if it was an accident, having somebody in your life, like this is the thing, is you then have to really be picky about who you involve in your life and the kind of people that you cling on to for inspiration. Because if you aren't able to learn these things on your own firsthand, because you don't have the time, or you don't have the time to get yourself ready, you need to talk to somebody who's living that life already. You need to have them be your kind of like inspiration and your goalpost for what you want your life to become. You really are who you hang out with. So if you surround yourself with people that are living the life you're leaving, you know what I mean? Like you're leaving the like independent, happy-go-lucky party lifestyle, and you're trying to prepare yourself for the responsibility of being a parent. Hanging out with people who are still doing that is going to suck you back into it. Whereas if you start hanging out with people that are parents that are successfully doing it, who have stability and balance in their life, then you're going to learn the kind of things you have to do to be able to manifest that in your own life. And I think that's really important.
Yeah. That would definitely take some adapting, I gotta say.
Oh yeah, that'd be hard. And that's the thing, right? You need those resources to be able to learn quickly. Like you've got to, and we've seen some crazy stuff, right? We've seen kids who have almost been taken away because the parents just weren't there, and then last minute the parents show up, and like
Yeah.
we're talking like babies that were born prematurely, so they were like literally living their first month of life in the NICU, and then because they're just like they don't have the reflexes to eat on their own or to even like
That's
breathe
the
properly on their own.
neonatal intensive care unit for anybody that is not aware.
Yeah. Mark, we should do a third person mosh pit.
Yeah?
Yeah, 100%.
You should
And then let me finish. I gotta
edit
finish this because I got a train of
loadout.
thought.
Yeah. That too.
It won't let me. Everything's locked.
No.
Oh, here we go.
No, you should be able
Vault,
to by now.
Hunter, Soccer.
If you go to your loadout, there should be
I
a
got
little
it, I got
plus
it.
button where you can.
Yeah, I got it.
Yeah.
Marksman rifle.
Honestly, I'd highly recommend the M4.
A lot of these guns are locked, though. I think you have to build up some.
Well, okay, here's the thing. You can actually secretly, pro tip for anybody that's watching this, for the beta, you can secretly unlock the MP5 by, how do you do it again? Let me see. I gotta do it. So you choose the Assault Rusher class, like when you create a class, when you press like create a loadout.
Yep.
It gives you like the three, like Assault Rusher, Hunter Stalker, Tank, Sentinel. You choose Assault and Rusher, and then you go to the perk package, and you choose Assault. No, wait, hold on. That's not right. Fuck, how do you do it again?
Yeah, you know what?
Yeah, you put the
This isn't working
put the
for me.
shotgun on. Put the shotgun on. Fuck, how do you do it again? I did it earlier. Pretty much, you have to have overkill on, and then you have to put on a shotgun to your primary, and then fuck, I don't remember how to do it. It's on YouTube. You'll find it on there.
Hmm.
What level are you? That might be the reason why.
7, I think.
Oh no, you should totally be able to.
Yeah, you know what? Trying to discuss things and figure this game out all at the same time is not going to work. So let's just play.
Well,
We
no,
have a lot of time.
let's figure this. No. We'll figure out your
No,
loadout real quick.
everything's locked. Like all the guns are locked. I've got M4, the Kastov 74U is unlocked. I have a shotgun that is locked.
But
Everything's locked.
you must have an M4
Like,
unlocked, right?
yeah, M4 is the only thing that is unlocked. Like I was looking at the sniper rifle, the Signal 50, that looks so sick. I was gonna make a sniper class, but I can't, so it's all locked. But I think it's all locked because it is the beta, and I just started playing like a half hour ago.
Yeah, I know you definitely have to level up to unlock shit, but you could definitely make a loadout with the M4 because
Yeah.
you'll have like actually access to
I'm just
attachments and
saying
shit,
that
right?
the can I gunsmith?
Because you can just make the
Yes.
freaking cinder, just make it the cinder.
Um, Decal charm camo build weapon. No, it's all locked. Everything's locked. Can't do anything.
Choose the M4.
Yeah. Oh, there we go. For whatever reason, the gunsmith just took me to the customize, and it was locked in the like I couldn't move the menu. It was stuck in the customize where you put like stickers on.
Yeah.
Um,
If you click the M4, it'll say
yeah,
armory
I
or
got. No,
equip
I know.
base,
I'm doing it. I'm doing it.
and you got the cinder. Did you figure out
Uh,
how to choose the cinder?
no. Oh, is that with the receiver?
No. So like you made
I
a
don't think I
custom
have the
loadout.
Cinder because I didn't buy the Super Duper Ultra Deluxe Edition.
Oh,
Right?
really?
Yeah.
Oh shit. Well, never mind then. Well, whatever. I would recommend just making one, just so you can have like all your own perks and field upgrades and all that shit, and then you can
Yeah, yeah,
put
yeah.
whatever attachments you want.
Can only have
Wonder how many
one,
loadouts you
two,
can
three,
have.
four, 5 attachments on at once.
That's what needs to go. Yeah, 5 is the limit.
Yeah,
Although I wonder if they'll have a perk in the full game that lets you equip 10, because Modern Warfare 2019 had that.
that'd be dope. Okay, I got a really cool M4. Let's go to the.
You might like the FTAC Recon Receiver. As like kind of more of a like marksman rifle, like a
I
battle
can't
rifle.
choose any other receivers.
Oh right, yeah, shit. I guess you just have to play the game.
Yeah.
I'll edit your shit, and then when you're ready,
Okay.
I'll load up third person mosh pit.
Yeah, I think I'm good. My M4 is customized the way I want it, so we're good. Let's play. Whoa, dude, there's tanks in this one. That's dope.
And what one? And what?
Oh man, you look like you're from uh Death Stranding.
Oh yeah, the mask. Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm gonna change it. He kind of looks goofy. I'm gonna be Soap. Soap
God, you...
McTavish. It's my boy.
I'm pretty
Start.
sure I need to buy this for Ultra
Vault Edition.
Edition. Yeah, I think you have a lot of
We
extra stuff
make
that I want.
we make good enough money. You can afford it 30 extra bucks.
40
40
plus
extra
tax.
bucks. Shit, yeah. It's true. You probably haven't bought a game in a while, not since Insurgency.
Yeah, that's true. Ghost. Yeah, these ghosts are pretty dope. Ugh, pardon me. You know what's gonna happen though? Is when the battle pass gets going, the second battle pass, nobody's gonna care about these operators anymore.
We'll see. Well, I disagree with that because there's a lot of iconic. Well, I guess it depends on how into Modern Warfare stuff you are. But
Hmm.
like, We got Price, Soap, and Ghost in here. Like, no one's gonna forget about them.
That's true.
When does Roach come in? Because Roach was the dude from the first one?
Hmm.
Like the main character that you play?
When
Or
you're
was it Soap?
playing,
No, you play Soap in Modern Warfare 1. You play Roach in Modern Warfare 2.
hmm. In third-person mode, when you aim, does it go into first-person mode?
Yeah, it does.
Sick.
Yeah.
That's
It's
cool.
a little bit like kind of disorienting because it's like jumps from one camera to another camera. But
Oh, this is cool.
I also recommend increasing the FOV, third person FOV, so you have a little bit more of the screen.
Bravo secure. We have the lead.
Yeah, it's cool, and a lot of people seem to. There's a lot of like really positive feedback about the third person too.
There we go. Oh yeah. I'm so happy that they
Have
made
this?
the no, that they made the PS5 powerful enough to be able to do this stuff.
Yeah, yeah. Well, you know what? Third person was in the original Modern Warfare 2 from like
Oh, was it really?
2009 or whenever
Yeah,
that game came
that was the time in my life when I wasn't playing video games.
out. I've never stopped.
I know. I had a big gap there for a while.
Yeah.
Dude, this is amazing, and this is definitely like 120 FPS.
Yeah.
It's so smooth.
Securing objective
It is very
Charlie.
smooth.
God,
This
I love
guy's
this stuff.
this guy's thick, and he can run.
Yes, yes, you can. Thick boy.
Securing Bravo.
I am thoroughly enjoying this third-person mode.
It's great. Honestly, this is like my preferred mode.
Changing man.
Yeah. Yeah, because you just hold down the.
Securing Charlie.
Oh,
Hostile
dude.
UAV in the area.
Nah, they wouldn't have third person Warzone, but that would be dope.
We control Charlie.
Nice. Good kill. Good kill.
Counter UAV is active.
Ooh, almost got that guy.
Enemy is taking
Um,
Bravo.
I think we lost track of what we were talking about.
Fuck. Oh yeah, no, that's gone.
Enemy is securing Charlie. We control 2 objectives. We have lost Charlie.
Yeah, regardless about how hard being a parent can be sometimes,
It is the most rewarding thing in the world.
it is.
When you-
It's totally worth. Anything that takes work in life is rewarding.
Yep. Yeah.
But
Yeah,
having
you.
work
Enemy is securing
that's like your own creation, a human life that you created,
Yeah.
that you work towards, that takes a lot of like effort and challenge, makes it even more rewarding.
Bravo. We have
I
lost
guess
all
one
securing
thing too
objective
to
Charlie.
let
Securing Alpha.
first-time parents know about as well is sometimes you're not just like instantly in love with this little child. They're kind of just like little weird flesh monsters.
And
that,
that's
like,
okay. And a
poop
lot
and
of
eat. That's
people,
totally okay.
that leads to a lot of like postpartum depression too, to be like,
Yeah, but it's
why
totally
am I
normal.
not
Like,
connected? Yeah.
like I really was like, I don't love this kid. Like, this is my kid, and I'm going to do what I need to do for this kid, like protect them and stuff. But you know, like I just accepted that I had this new role, but I wasn't like feeling the feels like for this
Yeah.
baby. Like I was
That's
kind of
totally
like, oh
natural.
yeah, it's my kid. And then lately though, because Amaya's personality is like coming out. Oh my gosh, like I am in love with that kid.
Absolutely.
Like she is like so cute and just
Hmm.
like as much as like
Friendly UAV
I've ever
online.
loved anybody before. Like where
Of
I'm
course.
really excited to see her and like it's so cool. She's just the best.
Cold
Such a
blooded.
good little human. And I
I mean,
think they
when they're a newborn baby, they literally shit and eat and cry and sleep, and
That's all
they're
they
just
do.
kind of like a big pile of flesh.
yeah, they don't show you affection. They're just like they're just there and you're like, cool,
They're
I'm just
completely
gonna keep you
helpless. They
alive.
have no idea what's going on. So it's okay to be like,
Friendly Charlie UAV is
I love you, but
Yeah.
like I'm still
You're
figuring
just
it
a
out.
job I'm doing
Yeah.
right now.
Yeah.
But you know what? I think
And that
for
feeling
the
is
mother of
normal.
the child, yeah,
Yeah.
I think the feelings are different for the mother of the child because they raise them. I think especially like in a stable circumstance where it's expected and tried for, the mother has a really close bond with the baby because they wrap their mind and their emotions around it. Um,
In a
you know, like
in a conventional
circumstance, yeah.
like dynamic of
Exactly.
like children and babies. Some
Yeah.
parents, it's literally dad is the only parent, right?
Yes, yeah, yeah. Yeah, because
Pretty
like
much
mom
the
wasn't
primary
expecting it.
caretaker.
Yep.
Enemy is taking Bravo.
But yeah, like if it's like
Continue your
a
point.
teen mom kind of situation, like this baby's gonna ruin my life, like then it's different relationship. Um uh but yeah, like as your kid gets older and they start to have a personality come out, they just become your favorite person in the world. They're just so effing cool. Everything they do is super cool. Like when they start like looking at you and making faces at you and like but like consistently because you see it develop, you see it like start, then you see
Yeah.
it become more normal, and then you see them actually just doing it all the time like a normal person does, and it's like
Totally.
the more it
Well,
intensifies, the cooler it gets. You're just like, this
absolutely.
is my little human.
And even though a newborn is pretty much just a small sack of potatoes
Yeah,
that doesn't really do anything, a person is kind of like a painting. So you've got a canvas and it's
yeah,
completely blank, and that
yep,
blank canvas might be nothing to
yeah,
anybody, right? But
yep,
everything you do with them, and it's good to be mindful of this,
yeah,
adds a brush stroke to the canvas and
yeah, it's
creates
actually,
what
yeah,
that painting is going to be. And then when
yep,
that painting is 2 years old, whatever personality it takes on was shaped by you.
yeah, yeah.
And
It's
there's
actually really
definitely
important to
nature
think
and
about that.
nurture involved,
Yeah, but
but a
even
lot of it's
even an
nurture.
environment that has a lot of yelling and stuff like that, initially, changes the reward system of the brain, like the flight and fight responses and the triggers and stuff like that that cause people to feel anxiety and stress. Um, so like obviously, it's impossible to have a completely conflict-free world for a child to come into.
Of course.
It's very normal to have stressors and stuff, but those stressors do things for a reason. Um, they change the way babies even feel things, the kind of stresses they're exposed to.
Yeah.
A constantly stressful environment is not good for
A little bit of
a
stress is
developing
okay.
brain.
Yeah. It's
A little bit of
actually
stress
good.
is okay.
Uh, my wife pointed this out. I don't know if my wife wants her name on the stream, so I'm just gonna call her
Yeah,
my wife.
let's leave our wives
The
out
old,
of it for now.
the old lady
Yeah.
kind of pointed this out to me the other day, which I was like, ah, touche. My 2-year-old was testing me to the limits, and I kind of like lost my shit a bit. I was like, you know what? Put yourself to bed. Like I'm out of here. I'm out of here. I
Yeah.
left her. And what I was saying before, it's like when you feel yourself getting angry or like upset, it's okay to just to leave the situation and go like cool off. Which is exactly what I did, because that's where I
Yeah.
was kind of getting to. So she kind of saw some anger, and it's good also to tell them like I'm angry right now. Don't say you're making me angry. You're making me
Mhm.
pissed off. Say I'm getting pissed off. I'm getting angry.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because so at the end of the day, that kind of happened. I let her be. The wife came home. At a convenient time, I was like, "Can you go like make her nap?" Um, but then after the fact, I was like, I kind of feel bad that I kind of lost my cool, because I like kind of pride myself in being able to keep my wits about me.
Yeah, Mark's usually cool as a cucumber.
Um, and I mean, they can definitely test that, no matter how chill you think you are.
Yeah.
But afterwards, she was like, it's actually good for them to see different emotions. It's good for them to see what anger
Yeah.
looks like, what frustration
Yeah.
looks like,
Totally.
because
Because those
that's
are normal emotions.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
And
as
not
long as you don't.
attaching guilt to it,
Yes.
like unless there is a specific behavior that is like really unhealthy or like
Yeah.
negative.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to make a kid feel like feeling anger, like you know what I mean, like getting mad at your kid for being angry, um, makes them think that being angry is wrong. But there's times when being angry is good, right? Like if there's an injustice occurring, or like
Yeah.
they're trying to protect themselves, like something like that. It's okay to be angry in those circumstances. So you want them to normalize being angry. You want to understand context and stuff. And that's the hard part, is you have to be.
I think you cut out there.
There's an Amber Alert that just got an
Oh
issued.
shit! Really?
Yeah.
I
Vancouver
didn't get
police
it.
have issued an Amber Alert. The abducted male child is Faivan Korea Chatandabula, described as 3 years old, all black hair, wearing a gray zip-up, blue pants, and red
That's
shoes.
so weird. I didn't get it.
Last seen at Children's Hospital. Holy shit.
Whoa.
Kidnapped. Oh my god. Probably kidnapped from a parent who's being taken out of the situation. What a freaking
And
coincidence.
this,
What a time to be talking about being a new parent. That is some crazy crap.
that's very stressful.
Yeah,
So
that sucks.
what that could look like is you have a kid that's possibly apprehended from parents that are deemed unsafe, right? So like
Yeah.
if parents are like heavy drug users, you kind of like evaluate their care of the kid in hospital, and if they're doing like things that cause really
Or
big
if
red
they're
flags. Yeah.
if they're connected with like social work beforehand, and social work's been
Yes.
trying to help them get their life
Yeah.
together to have the baby, but they just haven't shown any effort. That's also something that happens.
Yeah. Um, at some point, that evaluation will deem those parents unsafe because the human being, the small human being that's completely defenseless, is like the priority, right?
Yeah.
Their well-being is the priority. Sometimes the biological parents aren't the best option for them,
Mm.
and it happens sometimes. Those kids will be snuck out by the parents. So, um, for our hospital, they like these babies are supposed to wear tags that like are attached kind of like their ID band, so
Yeah.
that they're if they go outside of the bounds of the unit, there's an alert.
Mm.
So these parents probably, kid got apprehended, and they took them when staff weren't looking. Um, Unfortunately, that does not add to the case because sometimes a lot of the time when kids are apprehended from their parents, it's not the end. If the like we
Yeah.
want the families
Yeah.
to be together, and
Yeah.
we will like almost rehab them or teach them or get them clean so that they can have their kids. But they have to
100%.
make the effort. So doing something like that, like kidnapping. It's weird to call it kidnapping when it's your own kid, but essentially it is.
Yeah. Yep.
Um, it just makes the case look even worse.
Yep.
You know?
Yep. Yep. Yeah. I guess there's quite a bit of research that shows that kids actually have better long-term outcomes when they're with biological families.
Absolutely.
I think it's a lot of times when you have
But
like
not if
somebody
it's
who's
going to get
been
them killed.
No, well, no, but like that's why I think like a lot of times when you have somebody who's been adopted, it's so instinctual for them to want to find their biological family. It's like your genetics always like call you
No,
home,
for sure.
you know?
Yeah.
And so like in these cases for the listeners, yeah, it's always everybody's priority to get the kid with the parent.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to remove kids, but if it's an obviously unsafe situation, like we had a kid recently who the parents were living with one of the parents' moms, and the mom was using recreational street drugs. Both the parents were using recreational street drugs, and the kid was born early, and was in the NICU, and the parents showed up like 3 times in the entire month that the kid was in the NICU, and we gave them like one last chance to get their act together to be able to like show they can take care of this kid, and nobody was comfortable with this kid going home. And I'll tell you one of the reasons why, because a lot of people would sometimes be like, "Oh, you're stigmatizing drugs." It's like, well, yeah, for good reason. Um, my I have a family member who has a 13-year-old daughter whose friend just died from a drug overdose from recreational street drugs. Like people don't seem to realize how dangerous street drugs are these days. Like the amount of narcotics that are circulating right now is like astronomical. So you have new parents who have a completely helpless baby, and everybody overdoses on drugs at home by accident because of just an unregulated supply. Maybe that batch has got a little bit more narcotic than they're used to, if that's what they're using. Or maybe the batch of the drug that's not a narcotic they usually use has narcotic in it, and they all overdose and die. Then you have this baby that's basically sitting at home, abandoned, can't feed themselves, could easily turn onto their side and die. Like, there's a lot of things that are super sketchy, super tragic about those kind of situations. Though, as healthcare professionals with like physicians and stuff, like especially coming from an ICU background, I've seen lots of overdoses, and these people have no fucking clue what they're doing. I've seen people have their arms cut off because they passed out onto their arm, and their arm didn't have any blood flow in it. Like, it's
Dude.
all sorts of tragic crap. Lots of tragic crap. So like
Totally.
when we're talking about like potentially removing children from people, it's for a good reason. It's not just because we don't like their lifestyle. It's because their lifestyle has proven to be incredibly dangerous. And, you know, it's better for the outcome of the baby to just make it in life as opposed to being in an environment where they can even be exposed to narcotics and die. Like, it's just awful, right? So, I hope that helps. And that's why the Amber Alert is taken very seriously in these circumstances too. Because you have no idea, like, what these people could be up to, right? Or, like, what they could be involved in, or, like, how unsafe their home could be for this child. You know, you have to have somebody who gives a crap about future life.
Yeah. So, I just got that Amber Alert,
Yep.
and it disconnected my headphones
Oh yeah.
from the
Merged
PlayStation.
Bluetooth. Yeah.
Yeah. So it cut off your voice.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll probably still be on the stream, but it came back right when you said cut their arms off or something like that. I was like, what? What did I miss?
Oh god. No, we had a kid, I think he was like 18 or 19 or something like that, or maybe in his early 20s, who was addicted to meth.
This is nice of you.
Yeah, and he had fentanyl in his meth, and he had been trying to get clean for a long time, but then he like relapsed and he took the drugs at his parents' place, passed out, but passed out onto his arms. He basically had his arms like kind of in an X across his chest, but then like leaned into a desk, and it was like that for like, you know, however long, like
Yeah.
4 hours maybe, and
Wild.
he got something called compartment syndrome. Mark knows all about compartment syndrome. Basically, all your muscles are, you know, there's separate groups of muscles and they're in compartments. And if there's swelling, the tissue, the fascia around the muscle doesn't stretch as well as the muscle does. And so you get this like closed off, tightened, like swelling muscle stuck inside the fascia, and all the blood vessels that go through, they basically get blocked off, and then the tissue dies. And then when you have a bunch of dead tissue, it starts to rot, and then you get gangrene, and then you get septic, and then you die. And so it's incredibly painful. If you want to have some sort of an idea of what it could look like, just play The Last of Us 2. And there's a part in there where somebody has to have a limb removed because of compartment syndrome. It's gnarly. I took care of this guy for a month and a half. We went through the different stages of getting his arm cut open to relieve the pressure, to then end up like getting an amputation because the limb wasn't salvageable. Oh wow! I just watched somebody get a kill, like a stabby kill. It's kind of crazy. Like a finisher. Anyways, yeah, not pleasant, people. Not pleasant. So don't do drugs. Drugs are fucking stupid.
At the end of the day, yeah.
Yeah. And if you're gonna do drugs, do the ones that are like really well established, like
Weed.
marijuana. Yeah. Like I wouldn't even tell people to drink. Drinking is freaking horrible for you.
Drinking's terrible. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really bad for your body.
Oh.
Just don't do drugs if you don't have to. Nobody has to, but
Yeah.
I don't know.
Dude, I was on.
Especially when you're a new parent, like
Yes.
you have so much you have to do, and yeah, you can find your chill again.
Well, I feel like
but it
most of the
just takes
time,
a
like,
while.
if you're into like hard drugs that are affecting your like daily life, you probably didn't intentionally try to have a kid.
Yeah.
I would think. I mean, it's definitely like some fringe cases, but
Well, the woman I married had done a lot of child protection, and she was telling me that they have cases sometimes where there's women who are prostitutes who end up just getting pregnant because they don't even bother using protection because they're
Yeah.
just high all
it's
the time.
wild, man.
And they just keep having kids, and the ministry just keeps taking them away. and they keep being told like stop having babies. Like
Yeah.
it is not beneficial for you to have any more babies. And they're like, oh, dude, I want and then have a baby, and then they're all coked up and like messed up on their drugs, and they're just like giant disasters. And it's like, well, you're not going to be able to take care of this baby. You ever think about that? You don't have a home. You barely have any money. You're a prostitute. Like, you want to bring a kid into that? It's like, well, I don't care, dude, I want. It's like,
Well,
oh.
oftentimes they get into that situation for a reason, right? Like a lack of
Well,
education, a lack of insight as a person.
yeah, it's also a
right?
lot of those things happen
Yeah.
because of like a lack of social supports.
Yes.
So it's
It goes
usually
back,
people who are.
goes back to that brushstroke of that painting, you know?
Yep, yep,
Like that nurture.
exactly. Yep. Yeah.
What is that painting gonna
Like-
look like? If I mean, it's up to you as parents to identify
Yep.
what that's gonna look like for your children.
Yeah, you almost have to kind of decide the kind of situation you want your kid to thrive in.
Yep.
Confirming next hard point.
Sometimes the artist needs to change.
Yep.
Hostile UAV in the area.
I'm gonna also just say you guys are probably gonna hear like a lot of like hospital stories, work stories. There will never be names. It'll always remain confidential. It'll always remain ambiguous because we don't want to identify any people that don't want their stories
Yeah, that's something we
spoken
take
about.
very seriously is
Yeah.
patient
So
confidentiality.
it'll always be ambiguous, and
Switching mags.
yeah, no matter what anybody says, they're not gonna
Yeah.
get anything else out of it. But you will hear stories because we have been
Around the block.
a lot. Around the
Yeah.
block when it comes to stuff like that.
Yeah. Yeah,
The
you
two
know what's
guys
kind of
coming
crazy
from,
is the
around the corner
misconception around how crazy the pandemic was in the hospital. It was definitely like not every area saw how crazy the pandemic was, but the areas that saw it, it was bonkers.
Next hard
Mhm.
point. Get ready.
Yeah.
It's true. Yeah, it was definitely not like apparent on pediatrics.
Yeah. It's kind of the main reason why I went to pediatrics for anyone who's listening.
Capture the hard point.
Burnout is real. It is a real thing.
It's true.
Oh, I have a marksman rifle.
Ah, for fuck's sakes.
Hostiles launched a cruise missile.
Ooh, yeah. Holy schmazzoli. Oh my gosh. Oh man. Somebody blew me up. Freaking epic.
Damn it.
What other topics of discussion do we have for this first stream?
You know, I was kind of just thinking of talking about parenthood and like
Nice.
what we just like kind of our experience with it. You know?
Yeah. Well, I guess personal anecdote here. Wife and I tried for 4.5 years to get pregnant. So if there's any parents listening who are trying and can't conceive, it is a struggle.
Can be, yeah.
Kind of hard with the topic of in vitro. It's very expensive, and you can have actually a higher risk of complications by doing in vitro than you would not. Worked with a lot of doctors, and some of the ones I was working with were actually cautioning me against it. And then my wife was very pro for it. We luckily didn't end up having to go down that road.
Why were they advising against it? Just out of curiosity.
Lots of factors. Cost. Okay, so the investment.
Yeah. Because it doesn't always work.
basically, yeah, 15 to 20 grand. So,
What
like,
how
what
much
is
it
your
costs in
financial
the
situation
States?
like?
So that's
No
15
idea.
to 20 grand in Canada.
Well, I guess I mean, I don't know if they charge the same down there as they do here. Probably.
Well, it might be more. I would think it's more. Like anything like healthcare related seems to be more expensive in the States.
Dude, we crushed it. Yeah. So, anyways, we were looking at it, but both weren't. We couldn't commit. My wife said she'd be more willing to do it than I was, and we ended up doing something else first. Called IUI, which is basically like a turkey baster. They just kind of like give you a little extra like lob into the gates.
Gates.
Which
Oh, shit.
actually worked great. Yeah, it worked good for us.
Ah, fuck. I just
you
got
got
disconnected
booted.
there.
Yeah.
I'll send you another one. What?
I think I'm gonna have to go to bed soon. Just because we got a sick baby, I gotta have to make sure I'm
Yeah, for sure.
good to go for tomorrow
Yeah, no
morning.
worries. Oh, yeah. Shit, it's gotten late.
Gets late fast. Oh yeah, but anyways,
Well, do you want to call it? Do you
no,
have
let's
any
do one more.
do you have any like hot takes like for the younger generation?
Yeah, make a decision on who you want to be and stick to it.
Okay.
The
Okay.
world we live in these days is very confusing. It wants you to change who you are all the time, or at least consider looking at different options.
Yeah, be true to
Um,
yourself. Like
yeah,
it's the younger you are, the more impressionable you are because as human beings we learn to copy in a way and emulate. That's how we learn things. So you learn things when you're a toddler. And that's true as you get older too. And it's so easy with all the outside influences. Some are good actors, some are bad actors. We're trying to be good actors. Um, where it's easy to get misled, right? It's easy to find um, influences in the wrong things. And like with social media these days, it's so easy to kind of like be misguided and go down the wrong path. So just be true to yourself first.
hmm
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good one, Dan.
yeah.
It's a good hot
Well,
take.
yeah, and I think like kind of one thing I mean about that too is like people abandon their jobs so bloody quick too. And I think the more people abandon their jobs, the more industries become unstable, and it just makes them worse. And I'm not saying that like you have to stay in a job if it's not good, but like currently in healthcare, we've had a mass exodus of nurses, and we've had a mass exodus of skilled nurses who have experience in specific areas. And so we have a younger generation coming into a work environment that has like little to no mentoring. And Mark and I have basically been working in the same spot for like I don't know, like 9 years now, almost 10. And seeing the new nurses gravitate towards us because of our experience. Sorry, very tired. Um, and being able to help them solve problems quickly, like, is so bloody valuable. And that's like one of the big issues in healthcare is that like a lot of nurses don't feel like employers, the government even cares about that being a thing. And they're really testing them right now to see if they're like willing to pay to keep that because nurses have just basically been very dispensable this last 2 years. And so I think like what I mean to say when I said like figure out who you are and stick to it, be true to it, is don't be so quick to abandon yourself because the circumstances you're in aren't exactly going the way you want them to. Sometimes it's really important to um, like make a decision on who you want to be, and if it's not going great now, if you see it through, changes to good on the other side. And
Mm.
that can be in your relationship, that can be in your job, that can be in, um, I don't know, a lot of different things. And I think that's really important as a young person. It's really easy to like want to run away from challenge. But challenge, when you see it through, usually makes you a better person. You get stronger, you solve problems easier in the future, you have more resilience, you just become more of a badass.
Yeah.
So,
Well, it's too.
if you're gonna if you're gonna be
I
a new
feel like.
parent, be a
Yeah.
new
Sorry.
parent.
Yeah.
Don't give up on it.
It's two. I feel like very valuable takes on that from the same origin. Yeah. Totally. All right. Let's freaking play this round. Let's make it a good
Hell
one.
yeah.
Oh my
Also,
God.
Reloading.
you're gonna probably get a lot of rambling out of me, at least on this podcast, because
Well, what is a podcast if it's not rambling?
totally.
Does it count as a podcast if it's a stream? What is a podcast really? I guess it is, right?
iPod casting off your iPod. Yeah, I don't know.
Is that where the name came from?
I
Like
think
a
so.
broadcast on your iPod? A
Maybe.
podcast?
Yeah, maybe. That makes sense.
Huh.
Well, I would just kind of think because Apple kind of
Unloading.
pioneered a bit of the um, non-radio tech, I guess. I don't know. I don't know. I'm literally just so tired. I'm just making shit up at this point.
Yeah.
A zombie mode in this game would be really fun.
I wonder if I doubt they'll have zombies. I don't think they'll have
Yeah,
zombies.
they,
I don't
they
think
don't do
Infinity Doors does zombies.
Infinity Stones. They did though, didn't they? Like it's the Halloween special. They had like zombie modes
Well, oh, like as part of
for Warzone.
Warzone? Yeah, but that wasn't
I
like
wonder if.
actually a zombie. Like, it's not Call of Duty zombies. You know, that's kind of what I thought you meant.
Right. Yes. Yeah, because it's a Modern Warfare game, or not Modern Warfare. Sorry, the Black Ops, right?
Yeah.
Black Ops is zombies. I'm
Treyarch
very
and
excited that
Sledgehammer.
Treyarch is making this next game that we're gonna play because they just do so good.
Infinity Ward.
That's what I meant to say.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, for sure. Oh my god, I just got freaking murdered.
Alpha secure.
Do you have any more hot takes on barbecues?
Oh yeah, get them. Get a good barbecue. Don't cheap out. You know what? Life is a series of upgrades. That's a good hot take. When
Yeah,
my wife and I bought our house and
good
we
point.
didn't have a lot of money, I bought like superstore barbecues and they were
Yeah.
cheap and they broke and they're shitty. And then when our income was more stable and you start saving and you realize that you actually have, decent cash you could buy stuff with, I bought the good stuff. Bought like a really nice Weber gas barbecue, and then now I just bought this Kamado barbecue. I have like $2,000 worth of barbecues in my backyard,
Awesome.
and they're great. But the good thing is they'll last. Like they'll perform well and they'll last a long time. So if barbecuing is important to you, buy the good stuff. Do your research. But typically, somebody who is like naive to grilling is not going to spend that much money on a barbecue. It's usually somebody who, like this guy that I went to culinary school with, owns a like a he owns a butcher shop and does a lot of like custom charcuterie, like preserved meats. And he's actually quite successful. And he's rich. Like he lives in like $1.5 million house, and he has a Kamado in his backyard. And he is very skilled, and he knows how to use it. That's why he owns one. So you're not gonna just buy one just for the sake of like, oh, it looks like something that's fun. But
What is your favorite barbecue meal? I know we were talking about Amea's and Mila's, but what's your favorite? Your go-to?
ribs is the easiest because it take that
Really?
long.
You'd say ribs is
Yeah.
the easiest?
Well, no. I mean,
What is your favorite? What's not what's the easiest? What's your favorite? What's your
So
favorite thing
far-
to eat from a barbecue?
so far, like if I were to go to a barbecue event where I was being served barbecue, I would first try the brisket. If the brisket is on point, then I know that the barbecue is gonna be good because brisket is easy to screw up, and it's amazing when it's done well.
Oh yeah.
I actually just bought a piece of pork belly with the skin on, and I'm going to be making like a Thai style crispy skin slow roast pork belly, where you cook it for a long period of time so it's like super tender, and then the skin on the top gets like puffy and crispy and becomes like crackling. And I'm gonna be making that with sticky rice and some herb salad and a really, really, really ridiculously good Thai curry vinaigrette, and like chilies and lemongrass and all that good stuff.
Yeah.
And holy crap, somebody just ran by. Oh my gosh.
You are.
Yeah, and it's gonna be really delicious.
So much fancier than me.
Well-
My go-to is always just a good burger on the barbecue.
Oh, dude, a good burger. Yeah. That's special.
Yeah. That's
But
like
it's
when
smash burger.
I know you use the barbecue in the winter. I don't.
Yeah.
I put it away.
Yeah, I barbecue all year round.
Yeah. But like once I break the barbecue out, that's the first thing I go for. It's a good burger.
Dude, burgers. Burgers are the best.
No,
A good
fuck, I
smash
could go for
burger
a
on a
burger
potato
right
roll.
now. I just want to order
I
them from
can't.
DoorDash.
Ooh, that'd be good. I couldn't eat. I couldn't eat just because of ribs. Like it's just such thick
Oh yeah,
protein. Just
yeah.
hits your stomach. Talking about thick protein in my stomach, I got to do a weigh-in for this weight loss competition that we're doing.
Ah, nice.
Pretty much 1,000% sure that tomorrow morning I will have not lost a single pound in the last
What?
week.
How does that work? Like, what are you? Do you guys all have to weigh in at the same time?
Yeah, there's an app called
I'm loading.
like Move Together or something like that.
I was telling
Um,
Linda about it today. I said no.
yeah, it's a commitment because then there's always like a couple of dudes that like really take it seriously and they kick ass. There's a $25 buy-in.
Oh, you actually have to put money into it?
Yeah, and
Whoa.
but
So,
25 bucks isn't
yeah,
that
no,
much, but it just
I didn't realize
it's
the
accountability,
stakes are
right?
that high.
Yeah, I mean it's an accountability thing.
Yeah,
And then
yeah. What's the whole pool? Like
I
100
think there's
bucks?
like
Or something?
8 of us, so
Yeah.
a couple $100.
Damn,
And
that's sick.
yeah, it's nice, right? Good little payout once you win, but definitely, yeah. So it's the way it works is that you win if you have the greatest percentage weight loss, because not everybody's going to lose the same amount of weight, right? So
And what did you
if you,
call it?
I think it's called Move Together or something like that, or Let's Move. And then so once a week you do a weigh-in, and the way that you weigh in is you have to upload a photo of your scale with your feet on it, and then you can record your weight, and it's just so that like people know you're not just making up numbers.
Right. Yeah. Oh yeah, because
Uh,
I feel like it'd be pretty easy to cheat.
yeah, and then it has a few metrics that you can set up so that everybody has to do the same like level of exercise, and so like for the group, you have to have 8 glasses of water a day, you
Yeah.
have to have 10,000 steps a day, and then you have to climb 8 flights of stairs a day, and
What if
then
you don't have
that
steps
with like
in
some
your house?
well, no, like, but it's like it uses like a step tracker, right? So it'll use the one in your phone, or you can link like I got a Garmin watch, right? So it links my Garmin watch, it'll link an Apple Watch, and then it basically you just like it, keeps track of your day. But like, there's this guy, like, remember that David guy? Like that guy
Oh yeah,
regularly every single day gets like 15,000 steps
He's gonna win.
on his date. Well, no, but he's already super thin. Like he's already like
Ah,
right. He's in really like
that's
he works
almost an
out every
unfair
morning.
advantage. If you got some extra weight on you,
Yeah,
you
like
could win
Jared
that.
lost an insane amount of weight because he was eating like Chinese food every day and like
I do
high
like
sodium
Chinese
stuff.
food.
Oh, well, so he was eating a lot of super high sodium foods for a long time, and then he cut it all out. And he went to basically salads and eggs and chicken breasts and water, and like cut out like coffee with creamer and sugar in it, like all that stuff. He lost like 15, 16 pounds in a week. But the reason why is because he changed his blood serum sodium level. And so his kidneys were like, oh, we have way too much water now sitting in our veins, so just piss it all out.
Yeah.
So he auto-diuresed himself by changing his blood sodium content. And
You could totally rig
so,
that. You could just join these competitions with like a strategy of
oh yeah, 100%.
right?
But this is the thing is it's not who lost the most amount of weight, it's who had the greatest percentage weight loss, right? So you could lose, like, say you weigh 400 pounds and you lost 30 pounds in total, but then you have somebody who weighs 180 pounds and they lost 20 pounds in total,
Yeah.
right? Like it's the percentage of their like total weight loss,
Right.
not like, right? So like if you already are small, like, and you lose like 20 pounds, that's a greater amount of weight than somebody who's like 400 pounds who lost 30 pounds, right? So even though like the fatter person lost more weight, they lost a lower like percentage of weight than the other guy. So that's
Right.
kind of like the metric that they use to measure it. But I'm not expecting to win. I just joined it because I'm always looking for some inspiration to kind of clean up a little bit of the chub. But
Yeah.
I'm not really overweight. I'm just like a little chubby.
Yeah. That's still you got a bit of the dad bod.
Yeah.
I got a bit of the dad bod plus.
Dad Bod Blast. You got the DLC.
Why? Yeah, I got the deluxe edition.
Yeah, you bought the
Dad
battle
bod.
pass.
Well, you know, my daughter is what 10 months older than yours, so I've got 10 more months of dad bod than you.
Yeah, I had been building dad bod through the years. I got into craft beer and
Yeah,
barbecue,
who
and
am I kidding?
that's
I've had the
basically what
same
did it.
dad bod for like 10 years. Pretty much
It
since we started nursing.
Yeah, it's the
Uh,
full-time work schedule. It's like
yeah.
you wanna offset the difficulty of the job by indulging to
Well,
offset your mood.
you go on rest mode. Well, this is my problem. So I don't really
Yeah.
indulge too much. Um, we had this talk in the last stream how I almost like coincidentally fast just because I don't have the I don't know energy to go make food, which is probably because I don't have the energy. Um, but instead of indulging, for me, I just take every opportunity to go into rest mode. So instead of like going and going for a bike ride or going to exercise, I'll just like do something as sedentary as possible to kind of like recuperate till the next full-time set.
Yeah. And then there's me, who's like, I'll go off mountain biking
I'm
and
gonna go
like,
eat some Korean fried chicken.
yeah, exactly, exactly. It's like I need to make myself some like beef short rib Korean tacos, or I'm gonna like, yeah, get some Korean fried chicken, and then I'm also gonna have
Sounds
like
good.
a 7% IPA, and then it's like, next thing you know, your dinner was like 3,500 calories, even though you may have burnt a couple like 1,200 calories during the day to offset it. It's not a very healthy way to live. So this whole thing is helping me refocus on what an average diet should be like, so that when I do indulge, it's more like once a month. It's not like,
Yeah,
it's not like once a week kind of a thing. And when you get older, your metabolism slows down,
that's very true.
unless you increase your metabolism. And the slowing down of your
That's very
metabolism
true
is
as
the
well.
sedentary nature
Yeah,
of existence.
yeah,
Um, yeah. So, but it's harder to be really active when you get older because you get a lot of aches and pains, and like chronic pain is a real thing too. Like, man, sometimes I wonder if I have like fibromyalgia, but fibromyalgia also is partly to do with mental health, eh? Like it has to do with like anxiety and all that kind of stuff, coping.
yeah.
But then there's the other thing about the amount of easily converted carbs we eat in our North American diet. Sugars and fats and easily converting carbs cause a lot of inflammation, decrease your insulin sensitivity, cause inflammation in the body, which then can cause you to have more pain, can make chronic pain worse. Like
That's
I'd love to do a full reset, like empty my shelves kind of reset, but it's really hard when you are like shopping so that you don't have to shop. You know what I mean? Stockpile your cupboards, or you tell your significant other like I want to start eating like this, and they agree, but then they still go buy the white bread. You're
yeah,
like,
yeah.
like I'm not gonna take it back. They just throw it away. So it is hard to customize your diet.
It might be good to like actually talk about like for another episode, diet and exercise, and hell, we could even talk about eating disorders a bit.
Yeah, that would be good.
Like
That's something that we're um, intimately
familiar
acquainted
with?
with because of our
Yeah,
job. Yeah,
we should. Yeah, that's a good. We should shelf that for a feature episode. That'll be a
totally.
good one.
Yeah, yeah. I guess if there's anything I've learned in my life, it's sustainability is like the key. Never
Yeah.
go like so hard that you can't sustain it.
Mhm.
Just do small changes that you can then build on. That's the best.
Yeah. So who's in the lead for this move together?
Oh, definitely that David guy.
Oh,
He's
really?
well,
Even
I
though
mean,
he's skinny
if
already.
it's performance metrics, he's the highest. He's definitely
I
the most
see.
active. But
Yeah.
it doesn't necessarily mean he's going to lose any weight, right? Because that
Right.
just is his norm. I don't think he's changed anything. I think he's just doing what he normally does.
Yeah.
But I think he's also a trades guy, and I think he works in like I think he works for a big outfit in town because he does shift work, and his night shifts that guy. Dude, sometimes we think that we're busy and our steps are like, oh my god, I have like 1,100 steps this shift. Like this guy's like 15 to 20,000 steps per shift. And I'm just like, man,
11,000, not 1,100.
did I say 1,100?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, 11,000. Yeah.
That's a slow
Like
day.
I think the busiest day I had like 13, 14,000. But you're also not like you're just moving around a lot in a small environment, right? You're not like
Yeah.
having to go like
Walk on
hike
stable
somewhere.
ground or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, or
Although
like go check
walking
out
on concrete, like over time, definitely
yeah,
does
it's hard.
something to your joints
Yeah.
for sure. Well,
Well,
you should tell me what that app is truly called, because I will link it for the viewers in the description.
oh nice.
Move Together, as we called it.
Yeah.
Maybe it's Let's Move Together.
Let's move, I think is what it's called.
Hmm. Yeah, I'll link that, and I'll link Solid
Oh,
Starts for
it's
any of the aspiring
it's called Better Together.
parents. Better Together, Better Together,
Yeah.
Better Together. I'm gonna write that down. Better Together. I will forget if I don't. Write it down.
Oh my gosh, this game is violent.
And Solid Starts for starting to feed your kid. And for the parents with brand new newborns, Huckleberry is a great app for tracking feeding times, sleep times,
Yeah.
weight trends, height trends, all that kind of stuff. You can track
That's one thing we didn't talk about
diapers.
was like what having a newborn looks like. Basically, you want to feed them every 3 to 4 hours for like the first how long mark? Month?
Yeah, around there.
Yep.
Every kid's a little different. 3 or
Yep.
4 hours, unless they show you that they're hungry. They show you hunger cues.
Yeah, they're
right?
cues
So
like
sometimes they like to eat every half an hour.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah, but Huckleberry
Yeah,
is a great
that's
app.
a thing
I'll
in
link
itself.
that
Is
too.
just learning how to feed your child.
Yeah, absolutely.
Anyways, this could go on forever.
And expect not to sleep for 30 straight days.
Yeah, but get it if you can.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's
So I tell
definitely
all
video
the parents
games.
at work, it's like, don't expect any sleep for the next 30 days.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
So that your kid just starts sleeping through the night and is
Oh,
a ace, beautiful human.
if your
Like
kid
my
sleeps
little
through the
baby.
night. Yeah, we got lucky
Gosh.
there.
So lucky.
So you want to call it there? Oh, let's finish this round.
Oh, I'm not even playing, man. I'm playing Last of Us 2.
Oh, you what? When did that happen?
Like just a couple minutes ago.
Oh, wow. Well, I'm going to finish this round. Before I call it.
Nice. Oh my gosh, this game is so violent. It's so crazy.
I wonder what our advice would look like if we had like 4 kids each.
Ugh, I don't think we'd be giving advice. I think we'd be really...
Survive at all costs.
Yeah, exactly. No time for anything.
Yeah. I feel like the older kids would start to help out in parenting.
My massage therapist has 2 kids, and she was telling me that it is absolute mental chaos in their house.
But it'd probably be mental chaos with 1 kid as well.
It's not. I think that the structure that we've created in our house with our baby.
Well, that's big
is-
too. Like, how much structure did this person introduce to the house? Because I think it can be chaos.
She's
Like,
pretty with it.
I know parents with 1 kid, and it's absolute chaos in their house.
That's true. That's true. Our house is like not chaotic. It's just a matter, but that's the thing is like I wonder if we come across as being too regimented to some people, right? But then the people that I know that have made comments about like, oh well, you know, don't be here to like break the routine a little.
Mhm.
Their house is chaos. But you know what I mean? Like that's the thing is it's like this is the weird thing. The social aspects of becoming a parent is that like everybody's an expert, but everybody does it differently. And like you're gonna have people in your life who are like, oh well, we don't really have bedtime. We just kind of like do whatever.
Well, there's
And
no
then you
like
have people
one
who are like, there's a
best
set
way to do
bedtime.
it.
No, but there's the way that works for
sure.
you and the way that you can commit to, because then you can stick with it, and that's all that really matters. You don't want to like be changing your kids' habits around all the time just because you're like trying to be like somebody else. You just do what you know feels right. Well, not feels right, but like what makes sense for you. Like for us, we are old and we want to sleep, and so
Yeah,
we're
fair
like
enough,
we need
eh?
structure.
That's a
So
good point.
we started sleep training at like 4 months.
Hmm.
and it's worked. Our child has adapted. She sleeps like a friggin' boss.
Yep.
She's not a fan of sleeping in the same bed as us unless she's sick.
Yep.
Oh
That's
my
a
god.
blessing.
Yeah, it is. Oh gosh, Abby just had her head blown off. It's time for me to go
Nice.
to bed.
Well, I guess we'll call it there then. Um, Anybody that's watched us, I know there's been a few of you um, during this podcast live or this stream live broadcast, whatever you want to call it, this video.
Yeah.
Thank you for watching.
Yeah,
Uh,
thank you.
you can
This will
like.
get better. This
Oh
will
yeah,
get
this
better
is
as
like
time goes by.
yeah, absolutely. Or I think we're
We'll
gonna
figure
aim for
this out.
like once a week, maybe twice if we feel like it.
Yeah, if our lives permit it.
Yeah, and yeah, it'll definitely get better over time. That's usually how things
Yeah.
go.
I think once we kind of develop a routine with this too, we'll probably be able to provide a little bit more heads up of structure, like if there's stuff
For
going
sure.
on, like if we're going to have a podcast that week or a stream that week. Um, I definitely am committed to doing this. I think it's fun. I think it gives a lot more purpose to
Totally.
playing games and
Well, we
just
do it
playing
anyways.
games. Yeah,
We're just on
exactly.
streaming it. That's kind of how it
Yeah,
came to be in the first place. Like, this would actually be. We have some interesting conversations. We should actually like share them.
totally. Yeah.
Yeah. Anybody that watches this after the fact, thank you for watching. In the future, future me is grateful. Future
Yep.
Dangler is grateful.
Yep.
You can find Dan at Danglergames. Although I don't know if you're gonna make videos, but you might.
I think the way I'm going to do it is I'm going to stream or upload this to, like, I think we're going to concurrently stream so that we have two versions of the stream going up.
Yeah.
It's redundant, but then we each have a version. So, like, if I'm streaming a different game, like we're
That's
playing
true.
single player games or just talking,
Yeah.
then you can watch my stream of my game with Mark's
Mhm.
commentary, or you can watch Mark's stream of his game with my commentary. I think that makes the most sense. It's like two birds, one stone.
Yeah.
Um,
I'll
yeah, I
link
think
you
that's
in
a
the
good way to do it.
description.
Yeah, so I'm still setting my stuff up.
Yeah.
Mark's definitely the pioneer in this, and so I might be a little bit delayed in getting my stuff up and going, but
Nah, that's all
um,
good.
yeah,
So yeah, thank you. You can like and subscribe, and we will talk to you in the next one. Adios.
ciao.